Postgres has over 300 configuration parameters. Most of them, you'll never touch them. There are about 10 settings that account for 90% of the performance wins I see in production. So we're going to skip the noise and focus on those 10. Shared buffers is a Postgres setting that determines the amount of memory used for caching data pages in memory. The default is typically 128 megabytes on Windows and 1/4 of total memory on other systems, up to a maximum of 8 gigabytes. For many production workloads, you'll want to tune this. Start at 25% of your RAM. But here's the thing, cap it around 16 gigs because beyond that, the OS page cache actually does a better job. More isn't always better with this one. Workmem controls how much memory each sort or hash operation gets before it has to spill to disk. The default is 4 MB in standard Postgres, but check your version and distribution. That's going to cause spills on pretty much anything real. For OLTP workloads, try 8 to 32 megs. Analytics? Start at 128 and go up from there. Just remember this setting multiplies by however many operations are running at once, so you can't just set it to a gigabyte and call it a day. Effective cache size doesn't allocate any memory. It's just a hint to the query planner. It tells Postgres how much data you can realistically keep in cache. That's both shared buffers and the OS cache combined. The default is often too low, which makes the planner think indexes are more expensive than they really are. Set this to 50 to 75% of your total RAM, and you'll see the planner start choosing index scans more often. The Autovacuum defaults are often too conservative for busy systems. Bump max workers from 3 to at least 6 so you can vacuum multiple tables at the same time. Then check Autovacuum vacuum cost limit. If vacuum is falling behind, you may need to raise it so Autovacuum can keep up. For large tables, lower Autovacuum vacuum scale factor from 0.2 down to 0.05 so vacuum kicks in earlier. Transaction ID wraparound shutdowns can be mitigated with proper tuning and monitoring of these settings. Quick aside, my DBAs free health check will catch Autovacuum falling behind, bloat creeping up, and transaction ID wraparound risk before it becomes a problem. It'll even generate the recovery script for you with a countdown showing how many days you have left. You don't have to guess or do the math yourself. Max wall size defaults to 1 gig in Postgres 10 and later versions. On a write-heavy system, Postgres can end up checkpointing frequently. Bump this to 4 to 16 gigs, and you'll spread that checkpoint I/O out over a longer window. Smooths out those latency spikes. Set min wall size to about 1/4 of max so the BELUL segments stay pre-allocated and you're not creating them on the fly. Checkpoint completion target is at 0.5 by default. Consider raising it to 0.9 to spread checkpoint writes over a longer period. Random page cost tells the planner how expensive a random I/O is compared to a sequential one. The default is 4, which assumes you're on spinning disks. If you're running on SSD or NVMe, drop this to 1.1 to 1.5. All of a sudden, index scans look way cheaper, and the planner will pick them more often. Simple change, big impact. 3 more quick wins. Maintenance work mem defaults are often too low for production workloads. Bump it to 1 or 2 gigs, so create index and vacuum run faster. Max connections is 100 by default, but don't just crank this number up. Use PG Bouncer or another connection pooler to multiplex connections efficiently instead. Effective I/O concurrency is often set to 1 by default. On SSDs, set it to 200 so bitmap heap scans can issue parallel reads. Oh, and throw in log min duration statement equals 1000 to log any query that takes over 1 second. You'll thank yourself when you're troubleshooting later. My DBA's free health check will scan these 10 settings plus about 100 other things: auto vacuum lag, missing indexes, query regressions, wraparound risk, and give you provider-aware alter system commands with concrete values sized for your actual RAM. Connect your database at mydba.dev and you'll get your first report in minutes. It's free and it keeps running every week so you stay on top of things.